Welcome to Sabor Astrology with T and Shay, a podcast for the soul. Today we'll be talking about the current cosmic energies. And without further ado, I love to pass that to T for the transits of the week. Welcome, T.
Thank you, Shay. Welcome, everybody. Nice to be with you again. So we are living Pluto in Aquarius and all the deep, messy changes and all for light, right? All for wonderful things to come. As I've suggested in the past, even before I start talking about the transits, journal what's going on a daily basis, and then you can see how your life is, responding. Synchronistically to the planet transits. So the first one that we're going to talk about is actually the fact that Mercury enters Aquarius on the 5th, and it stays here until it enters Pisces on February 23rd. But we're concentrating right now on Mercury entering Aquarius. And we know Mercury is magic. We think of the voice of Gemini and the actions of Virgo, both signs that are ruled by the planet Mercury. Aquarius is a fixed sign and it's symbolized by the water bearer. And I've said before, water is known for the emotion, the feeling, and that it goes very well with the spark of any idea or innovation. Speak your words with your conviction, with Mercury, the planet of communication, for the good of the collective. We're in Aquarius, right? For the good of the collective. We think of society, we think of wholeness, and we're encouraged to think more about the we than the me during this period of time that will be. So that's what I've got for Mercury entering Aquarius. Shayla.
That's beautiful. With Mercury entering Aquarius, it shifts a little bit our communication as the planet is shifting out from Capricorn. So it's shifting into rebellion. It rebels against the constructions that it underwent in Capricorn. So imagine all of our planning, all of our ideas now in Aquarius is going to ask us to reevaluate those parts. Take two of those ideas. It's building our mental capabilities based on rebellion and freedom. Freedom that feels such as a dove opening up its wings, especially as Mercury sits next to Pluto in Aquarius. So they're both befriending each other in a way that let's make these changes. So all of our preconceived notions of the past start to disintegrate. In the past, I'm talking about the influence it had in Capricorn, creating a new and transformative thought pattern for each and one of us. It might all feel unfamiliar to us, but we have to learn to adapt, learning to adapt to these new cycles in our thought forms and freedom within those spaces.
That's great. And yeah, thank you for that. And keep this in mind with the next transit that I'm going to talk about is Sun in Aquarius, right? So you have the sun that is beaming its light. The sun is the self. The sun is who am I? The sun is what is my purpose? What am I doing here on this planet at this time? And it's sextiling Chiron in Aries, and that's from the 4th to the 6th of February. So what I'm seeing here is that almost if we can get out of the shadow of the sun, right? There's a shadow here. When we think about Chiron, Chiron in Aries has been prickly. Chiron in Aries has been difficult. It can be a very difficult placement. But with the sun there shining its light, it's like, how can I be liberated of this? Yes, you're talking about transformation, Shayla, right? What Aquarius is the great liberator. So how can I help this to change? How can I work with it for the collective, for myself included, right? Because there's always the me and the we. What can I do to use this glimmer of time, these 2 days, give or take, of the sextiling to help with that woundedness? And I'm looking at it more in an expanded way. I'm not looking at it so much as personal, as always said, of course, we're all affected, but absolutely, I'm looking at the world stage right now and what is going on. What is going on there and what part can I take? The me, although my sun is not in Aquarius, I look at at what my aspects are. You know, we all bring something, a different flavor, as we're always talking about the flavor, right? Because our suns are in different signs. So, but the overriding energy right now in our revolution is the sun in Aquarius. So where can I be of service? Where can I help? Where can I do good during this period of time that it is a painful time in the history? I'm gonna have to say that it's a painful time in history right now. We as individuals can absolutely do a lot to create change. So that's what I've got.
And that arena that T mentions, it's the arena that we all occupy space in. And with Chiron energy here, it's the healing of the collective. Additional flavor that I received was tiramisu cake. There is a little bit of bitterness and sweetness that is part of our identity, right? We're talking about sun identity that's being asked to shut off, leave, fall off, peel off, especially in the ways that we've perceived ourselves in that arena that we've been sitting in. Have we been connecting with our pain, feeling alone in it, or have we been looking outside into that other people in that arena who are also experiencing this? And this can speak to the pain that we're feeling in terms of current events, our communities, the people that we live around, our immediate environment. And we're peeling off these things in a way that goes with the rhythm of a renewed sense of self. Because we're, again, the sun here is very potent, powerful. Our story is also a play, right? In the middle of that arena where we can transform those pains. And this is where opportunity, this door where we can walk in and transform that pain. And I got this big feeling as I was preparing that there's great healing about the collective story, especially with a lot to do with our past as a people, and now going futuristic with Aquarius moving forward. So there's this kind of space that we're walking into, maybe the veils where we're noticing these, that we are one within that arena, but also many that are healing at the same time. So my practical suggestion here is to give yourself a hug, be kind to one another, because we all have stories to tell and experiences to share, especially during these difficult times in the world.
Thank you for that. So there's so much, we just keep talking, right? And we can't. The next one we're going to talk about is Mercury in Capricorn. So remember that Mercury is still in Capricorn right now, and it will be moving in Aquarius, as I said, on the 5th. So this Mercury in Capricorn sextiles Neptune and Pisces from the 1st to the 2nd. I keep getting the image of Mercury is sweet talking Neptune and Pisces, right? Sweet talking is nice, right? Sweet talking doesn't mean that you're going to be fooled. I think that sometimes we have that connotation that, oh yeah, he was sweet talking her or she was sweet talking him, and like the resulting wasn't so good. It can be really good. It depends on what your motivation is. It depends on what your intention is. So I'm seeing to organize your communications, your thinking, your voice, your written word, and sweet talk it. Make it poetic. Make it gorgeous. Make it beautiful, as Neptune and Pisces is, right? It's deep. It goes a long way. It's slow moving. It's very healing. Pisces is so well known for being empathic, right? Empaths, compassionate, caring, loving. So how can you use your thinking and put that together with Neptune and Pisces during this very short transit? And I think that that's going to hold you in good stead as we then move into Mercury shifting into Aquarius. But I want to hear what Shay has to say about, before I talk about that, what Mercury and Cap sextiling Neptune and Pisces is for you.
And adding a pinch of flavor here. There's powerful ideas that flow into our thought process as these two planets are in connection with each other. There might be some sweetness there. There might be some sharing of really powerful information or communications, because we have here the planet of the mind and also the planet of intuition coming into play. And during these 24 hours, it's important to keep an open mind that it's okay to dream. It's okay to feel a little bit in the air, right? Because this is how these powerful messages, maybe we're learning something powerful that will stick for lifetimes. Though these are transits are weekly, they still affect us in the long term because they somehow and shift us so we can be work through them and then move forward. And it's showing us that it's okay because our mind is strong enough to show us our reality, where to keep it real, and where to hop around and dream. So it's okay. We can work with that seesaw. There's a middle ground, especially with Mercury still in the sign of Capricorn, and both can be achieved. So it's not like logic and intuition can be connected beautifully here. I received the image of Alice in Wonderland, kind of trippy because it's powerful, it's beautiful, but then at the same time, this is what's going to let us get that insight, the new information. There's a mind and body connection. And also listen out to what people are saying, listen out to the news, or if you listen to the news or listen to podcasts, listen to the words that are coming out of maybe a person that you're interested in learning more about, new information, write it down, keep it in your notes in your phone if you don't like to write, and then see how you can share that later on, or maybe what you learn later on, how that will work out.
We move right into Mercury in Capricorn conjuncting Pluto into Aquarius, but that is the 4th to the 5th, and that's exactly when Mercury shifts into Aquarius. So we're moving the energy is moving. And as Shay was just saying, we are the energy. We are constantly moving, and we're constantly building upon ourselves. So what we didn't know yesterday, we know today, and maybe we'll know more tomorrow. And Mercury has done all this planning, all this organization with communication, and now it shifts into Aquarius. And I really hear it speaking its words out loud for the betterment of our good. And it's conjunct Pluto and Aquarius. And Pluto goes deep, right? Pluto is intense, it makes changes, but we go through that changes. It's not like Pluto just comes in and changes things up and, we live happily ever after. We're in the muck of it sometimes, right? Sometimes change can be anything and everything. I don't know why I'm thinking of this Taylor Swift song right now with karma is this, karma is that, right? Karma is the other. But Pluto is this, Pluto is that, Pluto is the other. It's the thing that makes the change happen. Like it comes in, doesn't care. It will come in on its like backhoes. There were these different, machineries that people get into that like really dig deep into the earth. And that's what we're looking at here. This is the energy of Pluto, but it's in Aquarius, right? And Aquarius again is an air sign. So look to that. Shay was saying, listen to the news if you never listened to the news. You didn't just say that, but do you listen to the news? I'm going to take it too. Listen to the news. Hear what the words are out there. Acquaint yourself with the realities of the people that we, live in. What is the collective saying? What is, who I identify as my collective saying, and what is the, collective that you don't identify with saying, right? So that there's so much here in terms of change, in terms of bringing, social reform, universal reform by speaking, by your words, and of course, by your actions. And I'm also getting the flavor of, we've been talking about going into the age of Aquarius forever. I mean, since I'm a little girl, right? It's like the song, right? The fifth dimension with the age of Aquarius, right? And we are posed to walk into the age of Aquarius. And I think that this is going to actually be like a door opening with those veils being very thin, and that we're going to actually be able to see some of that right now. So, again, if you allow yourself to see it, if you allow yourself to be in it, and I think that if you're listening to this podcast, yes, you are. right? You're not shunning reality, but you're also not shunning beauty and dreaming and change of life and new things and growth. So that's what I've got for that.
That was beautiful. I have to go back in the imagery of the drill, like the earth drill, because yes, Pluto and Mercury together, it is that heavy machinery. It's that penetrating thoughts. Okay. And it is a transformative thoughts, but especially transformative mindset of the literally the light that can come in during that time, because Mercury wants to receive that light. It wants to receive the knowledge that Pluto is given. It wants to receive that transformation. And I'm getting for a lot of us, we might be in a phase where we're entering phases of realizing our true patterns and taking a step and creating the actual change. So, for an example, therapy for some of us, or counseling or healings that will help us achieve a level of wellness and wholeness and radiating that light of the sun in Aquarius onto us. Okay, so it's purifying us, it's giving us that ability to do that. And as you were speaking, T, I received a message just now of one of the NFL teams that I like winning. So there might be a lot of winning for us during this time, a lot of winnings, a lot of unexpected rewards that we're able to experience and also have joy from. It's Pluto, so I don't want to say it's too much of joy, but it is a different type of mental joy that can come in for us.
Just listening to you, there's that joy of releasing things that no longer serves you, right? It's
Oh,
like, oh, we're
yeah.
afraid of change. I can only speak for myself, right? Fixed signs for, my aspects, my quadrants all fixed. 4, 7, and 10, all fixed. So I'm
Mm.
like afraid of change, right? But then what does change do? It liberates you. It's like, oh, you know what? We're taking you out of this situation, girl. You don't need to be in this situation anymore, right? And
Mm.
then there comes this sense of relief, like later, and you say, oh, okay, like this was the right thing for me. Although it felt like it was energies that were beyond your control or beyond your power of detailed working. It's not like a game where you put the pegs all around the board, right? It
Yeah.
just kind of like happens and you're like, but yeah, so change is good. The last transit for today is the Venus in Capricorn squaring Chiron in Aries, and that's the 4th to the 5th also. So, we've talked about Venus and Capricorn, and Venus may seem aloof, but you know what? Sometimes Venus is like that. Sometimes she's reserved. Sometimes she's looking. Sometimes she's like assessing the situation here, right? She's saying, okay, is this business deal the right one? Is this relationship the right one? Is this the thing that's going to help you to grow, right? So squares bring challenges, but in Chiron and Aries, it's like, okay, so like I really like I have the sense of like she's like, how can I help to serve you? How can I help for you to come out of this pain that you've been in? And it's happening just as Mercury is shifting into Aquarius and conjuncting Pluto in Aquarius, okay? All of this is going on at the same period of time. So lean on Venus. Venus is
Mm.
love. Venus is trust. Venus is partnership. She's fidelity. She's all those things. She's also a wildcat. She can also be a wildcat, but in her presentation in Capricorn, she's going to be a little bit different here. She's going to be thinking, what does Shay need? What does Theresa need? What do any of the listeners need? And that's what I'm here
Mm.
for. And I'm here to provide service for you. I feel such a deep love from Venus right now as I'm speaking. And I know
Mm.
that I'm a daughter of Venus as a Taurian, but I'm just like feeling her love for the universes, for the masses of the people right now as I'm talking to you.
Mm.
It's just like wonderfully amazing, and I wish that I could convey that feeling to you all through Zoom. So I'll tell you about it, right? I'll use my Mercury in Capricorn right now to tell you that this is what I'm feeling. But the feeling is one of deep affection and love.
Mm. I feel it. I feel it in my heart chakra. So thank you for that. We all need that. Even us as the host of the podcast and everyone in the world. She's radiating her light completely, and she's helping us to see that love in a way to repair our relationships, to see that light, to repair it. Even if it seems impossible, frustrating, like giving up, putting the towel out and be like, no, I'm done. And it's all for the matter of improving our relationships and ourselves, because relationship dynamics are a reflection of us as a mirror. And one of my clients said this to me, relationships are like mirrors. We mirror each other. And that's exactly what it is. So we improve and repair our relationships. We are working with ourselves, being kind to the self here. And I'm not speaking about romantic love. I'm talking about light, about family, work, workspaces, interactions with others, even if it's a small amount of time that you had maybe a little scuffle with. It's time to repair these, heal it, and don't hold on to the pain any longer. Take a different route, take a different perspective to help us, again, that liberation that the sun in Aquarius. I'm always going to use the sun as the umbrella of these weekly transit, because that's what's culminating here for us. It wants us to free ourselves, and we take a different perspective. It will shift. It will help us to liberate. And I'm telling you this by personal experience, that change is difficult. Being able to step out and forgive others and our families or friends or whatever it is that hurt us, it's hard, but it's liberating. It's what liberates us from the pain, the suffering, the sadness, the dwelling, and it begins to heal us. So I hope whoever receives this message, that you take it and that you write about it and you take action if you can and you feel comfortable, and see how this healing opens up your heart, that Venusian energy that wants to open up for all of us.
And that was lovely. Thank you. So that's what we have for you for this week. And as always, write in, ask questions, write to us. We're here to serve. We'll work for Venus this time, right? We're always working for Venus, or at least this one is. Let's see, what am I doing this week? I am doing consultations. I'm writing on my third novel, my Daisy Muniz mystery novel. She's having some fun right now. And so I'm probably a third way through that book right now. And I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to do astrological reading, or my readings consist of maybe tarot. And I say maybe because it depends on you. It depends on what your spirit wants for you. Could be tarot, it could be oracle, it could be channeling. You may have a spirit who's crossed over on the other side who just wants to come in and say hello and tell you how much they love you, and give you some strength to that if you're interested. And what about you, Shay? What you got going on?
Yeah, so similar to T, taking consultations, I'm taking readings, healings in person in New York City, by phone and online. And I want to mention that my consultations are spiritual, but they're practical. So anyone looking for practical, want to do development, self-development, professional career development, as well as work dynamics, you're welcome and free to reach out to me. My information will be linked down below, as well as T, including our websites. And I just want to wish everyone like a great week full of love, kindness. Feel free to ask your own questions that you want answers to. And if you want to learn something new from us, please leave your ideas in our emails at saborastrology@gmail.com, and we will respond to you as soon as we can. And remember to like, share, follow for more, share this podcast with others, and we will see you on the next one. Con mucho, mucho sabor. Sabor Astrology. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Sabor Astrology with T and Shay. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.